This past Friday, the spring update dropped to Live Realm and was received with pretty heavy backlash. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, my name is Taylor and I'm your host of State of the Spiral. Today we are discussing the 2022 spring update, the community's reaction, the developer's response, and we talk some pirate news. So if you want to catch up on general changes of the patch, I recommend watching my last State of the Spiral and checking out the patch notes. There's also some other great content out there. However, I will cover what has been changed since then. Starting off, the cantrip system has seen a fix to the ridiculous total XP cost in test realm. The devs have promised us that there is much more to come, stating that when the full system is implemented, we will understand the energy cost, and they are ready and willing to readjust energy cost at a later date. They say they didn't want to overwhelm people on release, and that's why they waited to release more. We did see one energy cost change. That was a change of 2 to 15 energy on Magic Touch, the spell that was used to open Spellement's chest. Speaking of Spellements, it seems our concerns were mostly ignored for the release. The devs have repeatedly promised that the system awaits further implementation. However, according to the dev stream, within the coming week, we should expect a patch to make it a little less daunting. This is definitely a dark spot in the update, especially knowing that there are still potential packs on the horizon. Hopefully in the coming weeks, they can prove us all wrong. I must also mention the fact that Lore Master drops the Spellements for lore spells directly. This is not permanent, but it is a big change to how farming Lore Master functions. Many of the lore spells that have Spellements now no longer drop directly from Lore Master, rather only in Spellement forms. There is one other place where we can obtain a few extra Spellements, and that's a new PvP Battle Pass. Yes, I know, we all collectively sighed at the thought of another Battle Pass, but I will say that unlike the Scroll of Fortune, this Battle Pass seems much more generous with its free version, and with a much more reasonable cost, around the value of $6 worth of crowns for 2 months or the whole season. It's certainly a lot more digestible to give a shot. I'm not really sure I can recommend purchasing, but it definitely does feel less insulting. As a side, I really wish they would cut the price of Scrolls of Fortune a bit more. Speaking of PvP, there have been pretty large changes since the initial test launch. Most notably, and what really set the community ablaze, was making PvP membership only. However, Kingsisle has quickly stepped back on this change and is intending to revert it in the coming weeks. There is now a 4th division of PvP, the 60 to 69 range. It is functionally pretty much level 50, but with access to slightly higher cards. Critical is still banned for some reason. Every league has seen an incoming heal nerf added to the rule set. The PvP enchant Solar Surge was outright removed from PvP. It seems the goal was to create more school diversity between damage and tankier schools. This has been met with mixed opinion and result. From my understanding, the state of PvP right now is pretty questionable. However, this is definitely not a permanent issue, as some of the problems are caused by lack of TC, and every 2 months the season is set to reset, so we might see changes from season to season. They have stated their intention to pay very close attention to the PvP arena and add more PvP friendly gear. The merciless changes made it to Live Realm. However, to many people's shock, the way you obtain the gear has been spread out through Lemuria. It was also obvious that the drop rates had been reduced. Conveniently, there is a $5.99 crown pack that sells you the best gear and jewels from Lemuria. The devs did comment and say they want to fix the rates and make it easier to find who drops what. Along with that pack, a matching pack for the new Dragonspire and Morganth gear were added, along with a diversification of the enemies that dropped those. Personally, if the rates weren't nerfed so much, I would be less bothered by these packs. They are still better than the reroll chests after all. The loyalty program was implemented, and unlike the first week of tests, the vendor is not just a poorly photoshopped image. 5 new levels of Spellements were added. As far as I'm aware, the current highest rank possible is rank 27. Along with this comes a few more enemies to extract. There's also significant evidence to suggest the addition of a guild system along with the already discussed raids. As far as Pirate goes, well, to many Pirate players' disappointment, a new world is not expected this year and may take multiple years due to the current limitations. However, they did recently announce a new community manager, who to his credit is actually playing through the game and seems pretty excited. There's also a continuation of the Sinbad questline and some new companions on the way. It seems during the downtime between now and when work on the full world is feasible, they want to add content and address long-standing issues. Overall, this past week of events has been quite nerve-wracking for a long-time 101 game enthusiast. Certainly, this update was one of the worst in a good while, much of which is just because of how rushed everything felt. They probably could have at least waited a week or two and solved a couple more outstanding issues that the community was already concerned with. It was also mentioned that the devs are looking at expanding advertisement campaigns, particularly for free membership style events, which had been mostly unadvertised in the past. It would be cool to see people return to the game that many people love but couldn't afford whenever they were younger. That'll be all from me. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out. Thank you, and bye-bye. Oh yeah, and literally no one is using the social kiosk. Shocking, I know.